Okay, hello. Thank you for joining me. My name is Jen Elwell, and I'll be talking about my Genius Hour. So, for this project, I focused on how to get my French AQ. So, for those of you who don't know Teacher Talk, an AQ stands for Additional Qualifications. So, just to give you a bit more of a background on myself, I am currently in my 5th year of the concurrent education program at Brock University. And throughout my life, I always took French. So I took French in elementary school, in high school, and a bit in my undergraduate degree. And what really motivated me to do my Genius Hour around this kind of topic is unfortunately, I actually didn't make the cutoff average so that French would be my declared teachable going into teachers college. It definitely hurt. I was 2% off from the cutoff average. But through that, I am trying to fight for it. So I still decided I was really interested in becoming a French teacher. So I need to buckle down and figure out what my alternative strategy would be and what are the options out there. How could I still become qualified? How could I still become a French teacher, which has been my dream ever since I was a little girl? So that's a bit of a background story for you. And with all that in mind, that was kind of like my motivation for my Genius Hour project. This is what I've always wanted. It's my career. It will help me financially. It's more job security, especially right now. Boards are really only hiring French teachers. It's like a fast track way to get on a supply list, a long-term occasional list, and just even full-time. So that was my motivation. So my first couple blogs were just kind of talking about what I already knew about how to get my French Part 1 AQ. So walking into this, I didn't know much. I knew I had to do a pre-test to get into the course. So basically how it works is once you graduate from Teachers College, you still need to get into a course that would specialize in how you would become, like how to teach French. But in order to even get into that course, you have to complete a pretest. And the pretest is basically just like a language proficiency test. And this is standard. So it's not just with Brock University. So I knew I had to take a pretest to get into this course, but I didn't really know anything about the pretest. I didn't know if it was online, on campus, if it cost anything, what the pretest would be like. So that really ignited my Genius Hour project. So more and more, I went online, did some research, asked around, and for the first couple weeks of this project, every time I had a question, I'd find an answer, but then have several other questions. So there were definitely some challenges along the way. So what I first found out is for the pretest, it was online. And it was going to cost me about $85, which I guess to some isn't that expensive, but when you're still paying for your own schooling and rent and, life, $85, I mean, it's more expensive than it being free. So that was the first challenge. And then even just completing the forms. So I found out you had to download an online form, fill it out, pretty basic, just your student number, credit card information, your name, email address, and then hand it into the registrar's office. So I did that. And then the following weeks, I found out more and more about what might happen, lo and behold, if I was not successful with the pretest. So the pretest is set up in two components. The first is an oral exam where you're asked two questions in French and you have to answer them orally in French and record yourself. The next stage is written, so you again get two other French teaching related questions and you have to answer it full sentences, paragraph form, again in French. Now, If you get below a 70, you do not pass. But luckily, if you pass the first oral exam with over 70, but the written part under 70, you'd only have to retake the written part. So that made me feel better. I guess I'm just like a cautionary person. So I wanted to know of like the what ifs. What if I was not successful? So that was the first part. The second part, and this is where I started to actually get frustrated, and I had to do a lot more research and actually contact professors and coordinators of AQ courses at Brock, was that I got misleading information, pretty much two different answers of how soon after you fail the pretest that you can retake it. So on the original form that I handed into the registrar's office, it said that if in case you failed the pretest, you had to wait an entire year to retake it. Awful. I don't want to wait a year. But then online, it gave me a different answer that all I'd have to do is just wait 30 days. So I like the idea of 30 days. So that was kind of the first hurdle I went through, and I had to contact some people, but that did get confirmed. And then later, this kind of project turned out to me actually just completing the project and taking the test. So I did online. I'm still waiting for my results. Wish me the best of luck. So it was 2 questions French written, 2 questions French orally. I don't really want to like say what the questions are because I didn't know either. I kind of walked into it blind, but at the end of the day, it is a proficiency fluency test. So no matter how prepared you might be, and if you know the question, you should still be able to answer any question orally and written in French. And that's where your level should be if you're planning on teaching it, right? So I'm not going to give away the answer. I'm not going to tell you what the questions are. And who knows, if you're interested in taking it, maybe they'll change the questions anyways. But again, wish me luck. I did enjoy this Genius Hour journey. It really helped because I needed to figure out this information anyways. But I think I completed my initial guiding Genius Hour question, my inquiry question, which was how do you become a qualified French teacher? And well, yeah, so it turns out you figure out which university you want to take the AQ course in, you complete the pre-test, you register for the course online as long as you're successful with the pre-test, and then you basically just do the coursework. So it's set up like any other kind of teacher college course. You have participation, you have to do assignments, lesson plan, unit plans, and as long as your grades are good and you pass, then you get certified. So again, wish me luck. I hope I get certified. And yeah, it was a great experience doing this Genius Hour project. So thank you very much. Okay, take care. Bye.